The last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy for crypto. I don't even think I have to tell you that. But right now, a lot of people are wondering what exactly is going to be happening next. Where are we headed to? Which coin should I be buying? And what's even making this more difficult is that you don't only have to choose whether or not the market's going to pick up from here, because it's really questionable with the halving coming up and with the price being so volatile, also because of the WAR. And it's really quite confusing, right? Should you be buying? Should you be waiting? But then a second question on top of that is, if you want to buy, which coins do you buy? And so today, I thought it would be a good idea to just talk about some of my favorite coins, some of the coins I think are interesting. And I think we've got to start it out by saying AI coins are still very, very juicy. Yeah, I think a lot of people have got the idea that AI coins have hit their peak. I don't think so. I think we have actually barely just started. I mean, Fetch and SingularityNet and another, Oceaneer, are all bundling into one coin. I think it's going to be the biggest AI coin out there. Personally think it's quite big on its own. But a couple of coins I've got a good chunk into, as you guys might know, are EOS RSS3. And I personally think this is a subgenre, or kind of like a parallel genre to AI in the DeepIn space, the DeepIn sector. I think a lot of coins are also nice. And as I said, there are very, very many overlaps, but one that's in the DeepIn list but not in the AI list is IoTeX. Personally, also think that is a pretty juicy coin. Holding all of these, and I think they'll do well over the next few weeks to months. But again, this all is based on the core principle that crypto moves upwards. That's the caveat here. That's the basis line, because if crypto goes for a little meltdown here, your altcoins are going to become worth less than it would have been in Bitcoin. I mean, also less in dollars, but specifically Bitcoin is better when times are bad. But anyway, if the market does pick up, I think the AI/DeepIn sector is one of the easiest ones to go for because it's just one of the most trendy pieces out there. However, like some of you guys have pointed out previously, and like anybody in the crypto space should know, today's trend is not tomorrow's trend, and one that's been gathering a lot of attention quite recently, but in my opinion, hasn't really picked up yet, is the real world assets sector. There are many coins in this list right here which still have yet to pop off. And I find it quite hard to give you like one or two coins, as for the most part, I think the entire real world asset sector has just not gotten the appreciation yet that it should have. But I do believe the majority of your banger coins, the ones that go insane, are yet to launch. And the reason I'm saying that is because I think the companies that will really pop off in real world assets are going to be the ones that have already done extremely well in Web 2, the non-crypto space, and are now moving in. But we don't really know too much about them yet. And I mean, it's kind of, to an extent, also depends on how far you want to fetch or how far you want to reach when it comes to real world assets. For example, if they are tokenizing real world assets onto crypto, but all the project does is just facilitate the trade of those assets, is that then a real world asset type of crypto? Well, they only facilitate trade, but it's connected. Or if they provide a yield on some other crypto project, is that there? So it's sometimes kind of vague. Anyway, but in the real world asset space, I think it is worth spending some time into, because right now it's kind of under the radar. You might think, oh, but you hear it around a lot. It's really still quite under the radar. But I think the next big thing could be this. And now, as you guys all know, memes, I don't think I have to tell you too much except for saying memes are pretty cool. And if the market's good, they make money. I told you guys about 𝗎 a good while back. It was actually one of the best meme coins I've bought in a while. I think the first talk about it was at like 0.004. It went to 0.002. And the day after, because we all heard it was getting listings, but it was kind of uncertain, it went to 0.006, which was pretty amazing. Today, there's another meme launching that I've talked about over on Twitter. And yeah, just generally speaking, really, really excited and bullish on memes. The only problem is, this is your most risky sector. If the market's bad, these ones bleed the most. And when the market's good, these do the best. It's almost impossible to tell you which ones though. As I said, I am a big fan of 𝗎, and I'm a big fan of something called Foxy. I'm not so sure if it's actually on here. Oh, yes, it is. Also a big fan of Foxy, which is on Linea. I think Linea is still, again, very much under the radar, but could be the next big thing. And next in line is a project we've actually talked about before, as they're a pretty good partner of the channel, and it is called Landrocker. It's basically a crypto game that, as of this point, has got some pretty juicy cinematics, as you can see right here. And right now they're doing a pretty massive fundraising round, which it seems is actually almost over, only a few days left. And there comes the point. because I think it's one of the easiest ways to make crazy gains. But I will give you guys a couple of words of warning, which are, if a project is raising like this on their website, there have been a lot of ones that have still done crazy performances. But usually these are not my preferred type of investments, as you want the most exclusive ones, and these are obviously open to a lot of people. Having said that, many of the projects that have really public launch exceeded my expectations by a lot because the market was ready for it, and most of those sorts were in the gaming space. But just take a look at Portal, for example. Nearly anybody was allowed to invest, and the price of Portal did really amazing from anybody that risked it, that went for it. And usually that's the case because, you know, they also make sure they go up in price as time progresses, as they raise more. And I guess a lot of other YouTubers are talking about it right now as we speak. Maybe, just maybe, I'll get to this list as well. But the economy is actually pretty wide. It's not very easy to explain what exactly the token will do because it's a pretty deep system, ladies and gentlemen. They've got a lot of things thought out to make sure there's a lot of use, but they make sure to focus and basically fix the issues of inflation of tokens in game to earn or play to earn, and of course the trust, which could make this a pretty unique opportunity. And I'm talking about gaming anyway. Yeah, gaming is an absolutely massive sector, but there comes the problem with that also, that gaming is so extremely huge that it can sometimes be overwhelming to look at. And so if you want to, not be as much overwhelmed with the quantity, how many projects are out there, but mostly so by the difficulty, you might want to look into RUNE's BRC20 and ordinals, which are basically everything built on Bitcoin, based around Bitcoin, as I think it's getting some attention, sure, but I think if you ask the average Joe around what it really is, or what runes are, or what an ordinal is, that they wouldn't really know. Whereas with gaming, yeah, it's gonna pop off because everybody knows it, but that's like a different investment thesis. To explain it again, the gaming thesis is you buy into it because everybody understands it and everybody wants it because they know there's money and they know there's crowds, they know there's people there. Whereas with BRC, with Bitcoin projects, Bitcoin, new layers, everything related to Bitcoin, which is now popping up. No, most people won't know it. No, most people don't really get it yet, but that will come. And another part is what made Bitcoin so attractive will most likely make things on Bitcoin and around Bitcoin attractive yet again also. And since now RUNES is coming up from today on forward, yeah, the thesis makes a lot of sense, I think, to just basically how people banked on Bitcoin before, bank on Bitcoin's entire ecosystem now. And if you want suggestions, all I would tell you is start with RUNES because it's popping off now. It's literally starting tonight. You've got a little bit of time to look into it, but most importantly, it's your pivoting point. If I wanted to give you something that's already established, I'd say again, start at BRC20s. What are they? What does it do? Or I could say, start with everything EVM compatible that's related to Bitcoin. Basically meaning it's all in a like Ethereum format, but it's related to Bitcoin. But no, skip all that, go straight to RUNES. Do your best to research it because there's a good chance that over the next few months it's going to really grow a lot, and it's a waste to not be there as early as possible. And well, how much early? Oh, almost choked on myself right there. How early can you be, or how more early can you, whatever, than before it's even started? Because tonight it's going to start, and I recommend you guys to take a little bit of time. Oh, how do you start? Just type in RUNES on Bitcoin or something like that on the freaking interwebs. You're not completely lost, hopefully. Go read through a couple of articles. Get yourself acquainted ever so slightly. Over the next few days, a lot of news will probably pop up. But yeah, I think that kind of sums it up. These are the sectors I'm most excited about. These are the sectors I keep looking into. You know what? Now thinking about it, if you want to get started with RUNES, I think I talked about it in my last video talking about my top coins. You might want to start with RUNE's terminal because if RUNES pops off, which I think it will, this is going to probably be the center of it all. So it's definitely worth a little look. You won't be disappointed, I reckon. At the end of the day, even if you are disappointed, the way I always see it is at least you learn something new. But I'm just kind of trying to orient people into the right direction because nobody really knows what the next big thing is. All you can do is base it on probability and do the best with whatever you've got at the moment. That's about it.